Hey, what's going on, everybody? Um, what a weekend it was! What a weekend it was! We had basketball, some little chopped up basketball slates, and a couple beat downs on the football side for in DFS. I hope you guys were profitable. Um, I was I played light everywhere. With that being said, we have a 9 game slate today. Something I want to do today is just get in here and point out some guys who I think who have some good matchups. You know, um, so that'll probably kill a little time. Uh, so today we're gonna start off with the Washington and Charlotte game. The first time these two teams met, the score was 106 to 109. Washington was at home. Uh, Noticeable performances. Batum had 28 and 5. Kemba had 17, 9 and 6. Kaminsky 16 and 10, and that's it. On the Wizards side of the things, you had Gortat with a double double and 16 and 12 and 2. Bradley Beal had 29 and 4. John Wall had 25, 10 and 6. Uh, Smith off the bench had 12, 7 and 2. Otto Porter had 10, 2 and 5. And it looks like Morris. Looks like Morris didn't play that game. So right off the back, I like Kemba. I like Kemba Wall, Batum, uh, Gortat in this one. I think Gortat has a good matchup. I think these two guys will have a nice game. You know, especially based on pride. You know, um, you know. Marquise Morris didn't play the last game, so it remains to be seen. You know, um, it remains to be seen what he will do. I don't mind Otto Porter, but we got the totals on this one, 213.5. So they have Charlotte favorite at home. Should be a good game, man. I don't mind. I really don't mind none of the big names from these games. All of them are in play, but when I'm looking at the best matchup, like I said, neither one of these guys, Wall or Kemba, big defensive players. You would think, Gortat, since he logs in, all of these minutes, uh, with the last three had been coming down, but he goes up, and you look what he's been doing lately. You know, he's due for something, like upwards of 30, 30 points plus. Uh, I definitely can dig some Gortat. A cheaper option. Though who I think who's in a good spot this game. Um, Moving over to the Golden State and Miami game. Um, we got the Golden State Miami totals coming in at 217. Golden State favorite by 11. Miami is at home. Last time these two teams met, let me see. I believe Whiteside had a monster game. I know that. Yeah, so I'll go through some noticeable performances. Whiteside 26, 2 and 20. He had a 20-20 game. Dragic 17, 4 and 2. Waiters 8-8-3. He might have been on the minutes limit at the time. Waiters 14 and 6. Tyler Johnson 18, 3 and 7. And Miami lost that game 107 to 95. So obviously, these when you're playing teams like this, guys get bumps. We know that already. Miami will get a bump. Miami is so short-handed right now. It's ridiculous. Like the core guys, those guys are some, guys to look at. That's going to talk log a ton of minutes. Interesting play, who I still think is in a good spot, is Hassan Whiteside. Now he's 7,700 on DraftKings versus him being 8,500 on Fanduel. So if you want to play him, you can always go over to DraftKings and you can play him for a little bit cheaper. And I don't mind going Dragic. He's around the same price, 7,200 on FanDuel and 7,000 on. 71 on FanDuel, 72 on DraftKings. I don't mind, handcuffing these two. You never know what type of game you can get. Both of these guys they'll log heavy minutes if this game finds a way to be close, which I doubt. But how the NBA has been going, you never know. Keep an eye out on injury situations with Tyler Johnson and the rest of the guys over here. James, we know Waiters. He's gonna shoot it. But I think these two are in great spots. Curry, he doesn't, play that much defense, and I just think if they can figure a way to make it a game at least to the fourth, those two are in great spots. On the Golden State side of things, I didn't even recap what they did last time these two teams met. Durant 28 and 8, Draymond 13, 5 and 9, Pachulia 8, 3 and 6, Curry 24, 9 and 8, and those were relevant performances right there. So the big 3, 4, whatever you want to call it, those guys are always in play. You want to find out, if you don't want to pay up for them guys or something like that, you find some guys that's in great spots and things like that, or you can fade that side of the ball. However you look at things. They'll be on the road today. Klay Thompson, he's 6,300 on DraftKings, and he's 6,200 on FanDuel. If you just feel like you got to get a piece of this pie, Draymond Green, a cheaper option, as well as Curry. I don't know if I'll be playing any of them. I have to really, 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 really jump into the slate, but any given day, one of these guys can go off. Going over to the LA Clippers and Atlanta side of things, Let me see if I have any totals for this one. No, not at this moment, but we definitely can dive right into it. Last time these two teams played, I don't have that either, but it just, we got injuries, so to Chris Paul and Blake Griffin, so, it's probably kind of obsolete. So, looking on, start off on the Atlanta side of things. I like the spot that Millsap is in. I think he's in a good spot. And Schroeder, I think Schroeder is in a good spot. You can pick your poison on which one you think is in the best position. You can stack them, you can do whatever, but I just think those two guys are in good spots. Dwight Howard, he'll have to duke it out with DeAndre Jordan, and may the best man win that one. I think the slate is big enough for me to find somebody else that I don't have to wreck my brain with in a tug of war match with those two guys. As far as price comparisons for the top three guys on this team, you're looking at Dwight Howard 6,900 on Fanduel, so they're similar priced on both sites. Paul Millsap is 8,100 on Fanduel, so you get him at a small discount over here. And then Schroeder, he's 6,100 on DraftKings, and on Fanduel he's 6,500. So keep an eye on injuries. Mike Muscala, and things like that. Interesting thing to point out here. I haven't checked on him, but he had been getting minutes. So his last time they went down. I mean, last game they went down. But if you've been willing, if you've been watching, every time I've been pointing out, for a very cheap option, he has been stabbing. He has been stabbing off. Chris Humphrey has been going in there reaching value. So that's something you can keep an eye out for value. On the Clipper side of things, oh man, it's just a messy situation, man. You're looking at J.J. Redick, Jamal Crawford, and hold on, let me go up here. Okay, they got Chris Paul out, Blake Griffin close to the doubtful. He's questionable, but he's close to the doubtful. But keep an eye on that. Anything can happen. So at the guard position, you have Austin Rivers, Raymond Felton, J.J. Redick, Jamal Crawford. It's so cluttered, man. It looks like, these three, well, we know these three, they log in the most minutes. Last game, they ran out a starting lineup with Spates and Mbah Mute starting. So we have to keep an eye out on the starting lineup because they're shuffling things up. I don't blame them. They're just trying to get a win, while they're banged up. I think I can, I want to say Felton is in a pretty good spot in this one. If he gets the start, he's priced at 5,600 on DraftKings, and on FanDuel he's like 5,900. So he's somebody that you can look at Uh, it's just a messy situation. Truthfully, I don't mind DeAndre Jordan, but there's plenty more options on the slate. So I'll probably just even be looking past the Clippers. I probably won't even be looking to start anyone. But if I do, it will be one of these guards. Between uh, you know, I'd probably say between Austin Rivers and Felt. So those are the guys I think that are in pretty good spots, um, depending on what position they play. The point guard position, though, that's the one I've been looking at. Moving over to the San Antonio and Brooklyn game, this one has beat down written all over it. We got 217. We got 217 and a half total. San Antonio by 12. On the road. You got to try to figure out what Pop is thinking. Uh, you know, we can. Uh, we can. We got to keep an eye out on injury news. We know Gasol is out. Tony Parker. Okay, so Tony Parker should probably be out this game. That's something to keep an eye out on. They just coming off a rough game. You never know. Watch out so you don't get popped with some injury news or something like that, or some late scratch news, because we know Pop will do it. Kawhi Leonard has been on absolute fire lately. He's in play, especially if you think he can return value for you. Aldridge. Um, Someone who I think is in a good spot though is this guy here, Mr. Murray. I feel like if he gets the minutes, which I know he should, yeah, he's coming in at 4,100. On Fanduel, he's like 3,800. Doesn't need much. We know he's going to go up against Brooklyn. Somebody who I don't mind playing. Somebody who I know will be playing. Messing with Pop because you never know. But he's a play. So you can look towards Mr. Murray here. David Lee, price is creeping up. But I like the spot that he's in. I just can't see rest coming his way. So he's a good play to me. On FanDuel, he's priced at 5,100, and on DraftKings, he's 55. So on the Brooklyn side of things, believe it or not, you might have to watch out for rest over here too. They've been popping up resting guys left and right. Brook Lopez haven't had a rest game, so keep an eye on him. Jeremy Lin, keep an eye on that injury situation. The Harris situation as well. This guy here, Levert, given the minutes he's been playing pretty well, given the minutes, man. Somebody who can go low on the 3,900 has been hitting value. So somebody you can, watch out. You got to keep an eye on the starting lineups. I recommended Sox Kilpatrick last game, and he had a pretty nice game, when he started. He had 30 points. A previous game before he played Charlotte, he did well, so I kind of figured he was going to do well again. You know, I'm not too much on any of these guys. They're all salary saving guys. Don't mind Booker. I can't really pinpoint who's in the best spot. Brook Lopez, he's not a bad option. I actually don't mind him, but just worried about the game getting out of hand. I don't mind him. He's been exceeding value lately. So he's definitely in play. They're at home, so there you have it. Going over to Sacramento, Detroit. Interesting game. Rudy Gay's out. Sacramento and Detroit. Last time these two teams played, 94-100. The Kings were at home. Kings won. On the Piston side of the ball, noticeable performances. Tobias Harris, 18-3. Marcus Morris, 9-1-3. Drummond, 9-1-12. Caldwell Pope, 12-2-5. Reggie Jackson, 19-3-2. And that's about it for the names over there. Rudy Gay, 11-4-7. Tolliver, 17-3-4. DeMarcus Cousins had a monster game at 24-6-13. And that's about it for those two performances. This time Detroit will be at home. You got DeMarcus Cousins coming in at 10-5 on DraftKings and 10-9 on Fanduel. Drummond is coming in at 7,100 on DraftKings, and on Fanduel, Drummond is 7,700. Tobias Harris, Marcus Morris, Reggie Jackson. I like Reggie Jackson at that price. On FanDuel, he's 6,400. It's going to be a hard decision to make. But I'm looking at all the centers tonight between Andre Drummond, DeMarcus Cousins. I just don't know, but I like to say DeMarcus Cousins is in a great spot. He has to do it all. He's coming off a tough game in Chicago. He's coming off a tough game, a tough call. He had a monster game. If you decide to roster him, hopefully he's looking to back it up. Interesting thing to point out here is John Lua. He is back from his absence. Last game he played 25 minutes at 4,300. He put up 26.5 fantasy points. So it looks like he wants to get back on his old tricks again. If you guys feel like you decide you want to get on that train, then go ahead. Another cheap option, you look at Costa Kufus. He's been coming in around minimum. It's getting around, between that 20 and 25 minutes per game, and he's been hitting value, here and there. Just a long shot, going against Drummond, you never know what happened. I think Boogie, DeMarcus Cousins. Oh, and keep an eye on Caldwell Pope. He might play tonight. he had a good game against them last time they played. So you know, if they say his minutes will be monitored or anything like that, even though this minutes will be monitored thing is so suspect as of late. I mean, every time someone minutes will be monitored, they play more maybe. So you know, that's something to look at. Uh, I like Drummond at that. I don't mind Drummond. I don't know which one I'd rather have. Cousins is all they got right now. So you know, Cousins is in a great spot. Reggie Jackson is as well. I don't mind Drummond. You know, moving over to Cleveland and New Orleans. These two teams played not too long ago. We got a 217-point total. Cleveland on the road. Cleveland, they have Cleveland winning this by 6.5. Last time these two teams met, let me check it out. Cleveland won 90-82. Noticeable performances. Anthony Davis had 20 and 16, 2 assists. Buddy Hield had 22 and 5. I don't think. Holiday had 11 and 13 and 4. Evans had 19 minutes. He had 4, 5, and 3. And on the Cleveland side of things, LeBron played 39 minutes, 26, 6, and 7. Love, 12, 3, and 11. Richard Jefferson had 12, 2, and 12. So that's how that went. I don't know what to make of this game. If Anthony Davis, he's questionable. He's obviously in a good spot. LeBron James is in a good spot. I'm looking at Kyrie Irving hard tonight. He's obviously in a great spot. He's 7,900 on Fanduel. On DraftKings, and on Fanduel he's 8,100. I don't mind the play. Someone who I'm definitely looking at very hard. Moving over to the Houston side of things. In the Cleveland New Orleans game, a cheap option. Amon Shumpert. He's worth taking a look at. Moving over to Houston and Milwaukee, these two teams that just played. Let me see. Houston and Milwaukee, 92-111. They were at Houston, and Houston won this one. And then ABC had 32, 6, and 11. Jabari Parker, 15, 2, and 7. Michael Beasley, 14, 2, and 8. Brogdon had 8, 8, and 7. Those are some noticeable performances. On the Rockets side of things, you had James Harden, 38, 8, and 6. Patrick Beverly had 12, 5, and 9. Eric Gordon had 25 and 4. So, on the Milwaukee side of things, they're at home. it's just a toss up, man. Jason Kidd is hardly can be trusted, man. But only two guys I'm looking are, ABC and Jabari Parker. ABC is clearly in a great spot because of who he is. He's just a great play. Interesting play is Michael Beasley. Keep an eye on him in the up-paced game. He used to play for them, and he's an interesting play. All the other guys, I'm probably out. James Harden, he's self-explanatory. Eric Gordon, he's been consistent. He's been consistent as of late. Semi-consistent, maybe 6K on Fanduel, 5,600 on DraftKings. Pretty productive game last time they played. From him, not too many of the peripherals were there, but he put up almost 30 fantasy points, so it is what it is. Patrick Beverly had a pretty nice game as well. Won't you? But I mean, you have to pick your poison over here. But Deion Waiters just had a pretty good game against these guys. It looks like they've been Milwaukee has just been getting hit on the at the two guard position. So like I said, James Harden blessed them in last game with about 60 something fantasy points. So he's someone who's in play, and I usually target small forwards against Milwaukee, but I'm kind of this guy. Sam Decker. He's coming in at 4,200 on DraftKings, and on FanDuel he is 4,300. Interesting play. His minutes has been there. He's been hitting value, so he makes for an interesting play. So he's someone that you want to keep an eye out on. And I don't want to spend too much time on. So the injury news with Ryan Anderson, and keep an eye out on the starting lineups. Moving over to this New York and Indiana. We have the totals on this one. We have a 218 total. Indiana by 5. Indiana's at home tonight. Okay. These two teams, they met twice this year. The first time they met, they were in New York. So what happened when they were in New York? Young had a pretty nice game, 21-7. George had a mediocre game, 16-5-3. Turner almost had a double-double, 21-9. Teague had a pretty nice game, that in 17 points, 12 assists, almost and 7 rebounds, almost had a triple-double. Jefferson had 18-3. That was back in that was on 12-20, and Carmelo Anthony had 35-4-4. Porzingis 21-1-8. Noah had a double-double with 11-11. Derrick Rose 24-6-4. And that's probably it for those noticeable performances. But then they went to Indiana on January 7th, and Porzingis had 16, 3 and 4. Melo had 17, 5 and 2. Rose had 14, 3 and 2. Jennings had 17 and 4. And then on the Pacers side of things, Young almost had a double-double with 16 and 9. Paul George had another mediocre outing with 19, 4 and 3. Miles Turner had a double-double with 13 and 10. Teague almost had a double-double with 19 and 8. Then Al Jefferson played 15 minutes, and he had 14, 2 and 7. And the Pacers won that game 123 to 109. So now, Indiana is, they're back home. So that means the Knicks are on the road, and looking at the Knicks side of the ball, Porzingis is an interesting play. Minutes are up. Looks like he's ready to roll. It's just looking like everybody's healthy right now. There's a lot of mouths to, there's a lot of playing time to be. There's a lot of mouths and stuff to be starting to be fed over here. You're gonna have to pick and choose your spots. Who do I think is in the best spot? I like Derrick Rose's, his spot right now. But it's hard for me to pinpoint what's going to happen. But I don't know. You're getting Porzingis at 6,800. He can go off. And Melo, he can go off at, any time as well. So this is sort of like a pick your poison type of thing. I can't really nail down who I really, really, really like. Carmelo has been playing, crazy basketball as of late, though, man. At 8K, I don't mind the play, I like Porzingis' spot. I like Derrick Rose's spot. Just hopefully it makes for a good game. I think those guys are in play. I like the three, the three guys. I wouldn't be mad if you rostered, any one of those guys. On the Indiana side of things, Paul George, he's not having the season that we've expected him to have. But, his price needs to adjust to what he's been doing. And, I think it's probably coming down. But, this goes up and it goes down, according to matchups. So, he's in a good spot, though. He just needs to take advantage of it, That Knicks defense is not good at all. So, he's in a really good spot, as well as Jeff Teague. He's in a really good spot as well. Moving along, I think this is the last game of the night. OKC and Utah. Totals for this game is 203. Utah by 5. Last time these two teams met, noticeable performances on the OKC side of things is really let me pause this one. Yeah, so there was not much to like about this game last time these guys didn't played. um, George Hill didn't play. That's something to point out, and Oladipo didn't play. So with that being said, the game's at Utah, but last time these two teams played, Adams he had 10, 5 and 1. Westbrook 27, 6 and 5. Cantor 19, 2 and 1. Mediocre performances. The score was 89 to 109. In fact, Utah won. But on Utah side of things, Hayward 17, 2 and 2. Gobert 12 and 12. Rodney Hood 12, 1 and 1. 25, 1 and 1. Mac, he had got the start. He had 15, 5 and 5. And just overall, it was a brutal outing. So we got Westbrook coming in at 11-5 on DraftKings, and on Fanduel he's 12K. With Westbrook, anything goes, man. Any given day he can explode. Might not have him on my radar tonight. But as far as injuries is involved, we got injuries to Rodney Hood and Steven Adams, something that needs to be looked at. George Hill, interesting play. A guy who I'm on, somebody who I think is in a good spot tonight. He's 6,600 on DraftKings, and on FanDuel he is 6,100. So he's someone that I like. And this is your late night hammer game, so it's something to keep a look at. Rudy Gobert, someone who I don't mind as well. He's 7,300 on DraftKings, and on FanDuel he is 8,100. So that's something to look out at there. Hold on one second. That's something to keep an eye out on there. And cheap options and Derek Favors and Joe Ingles. So those are some cheaper options. Keep an eye out on Steven Adams, though. He can change things. Might can make it a little tougher on Rudy Gobert to make and hit value and stuff like that. On the OKC side of things, I don't mind the spot that Oladipo is in. At 5,300, and on FanDuel he's 5,700. Enes Kanter, he is 6,300. Similar to something like a revenge game for him. There was some animosity between Kanter and the organization, and players and things like that. So he's someone to keep an eye on at 6,300, and I don't love to play. I'm not gonna lie, I don't love to play, but he's just someone to keep an eye on. FanDuel, he's 6,400. So that'll just about do it for me, guys. I'm signing out. Hope you guys have a productive day. Let me go back through the teams once again. Washington and Charlotte. I like the point guard matchup there, and I don't mind Gortat. Golden State, I'm not even going to get into the Golden State size of thing, but I do like that Whiteside Dragic stack. ATL, I don't mind. I don't mind. I don't mind Millsap. I don't mind Schroeder. I like point guards over there in LA Clippers, San Antonio and Brooklyn. I didn't go into details. I don't mind. I like Murray coming in at 4,100. Brooklyn, on the Brooklyn side of things, it's kind of like pick your poison and make sure you keep out for injuries and rest. Keep an eye out for injuries and rest on both sides of the ball. Sacramento and Detroit, I like Boogie. Another thing I didn't point out, Reggie Bullock, he's been getting a boatload of minutes. So watch out for him, especially if KCP doesn't play. And another thing, Aaron Aflalo, his minutes went up as well. So with the injuries over there, so keep an eye on him too. Those are two cheap options that you guys can add to your repertoire. Cleveland, New Orleans. I got my eye on Kyrie in that one. Houston and Milwaukee. I told you I was looking at ABC and Harden, but interesting play was the interesting plays are Sam Decker and Michael Beasley. New York and Indiana side of things. George, like I said, Paul George is in a fantastic spot, I believe. He has a tough defensive matchup. I think Jeff Teague is in a good spot. I think Derrick Rose is in a good spot. Porzingis, this game could be, I can make a case for a lot of people being in a great spot in this game. Last game of all, George Hill is in my favorite spot of this game. Westbrook can just explode any given day. We know that. I still think Rudy Gobert is in a good spot. Don't mind Ingles. I think Victor Oladipo is in a good spot as well. And with that being said, guys, like, subscribe, give me a thumbs up. Check out my links. Follow me on Twitter at Denzel1. And with that being said, boom.